Here we are on Brunch with Brian today, and guess what? Guess what day it is? Yes, it's my birthday today, so happy birthday to me. And Lynette got me some nice balloons and a cake and everything. We had a nice party on Sunday, so that was really great. And I want to share today, because it's Teaching Tuesdays, today we're going to talk about your annual goal setting. Okay, so we're talking about when you look at your life, and I want you to look at your life once on your birthday. Or sometimes a lot of people do it at New Year's. They look at their life and they kind of do a reevaluation and a check-in and see where we're at. And so I want you guys to do an annual review. So, and this annual review, which your birthday is a good time to do it, will cover several different areas of your life. Not just business, not just financial. Sometimes we focus on that because so many of our goals and dreams are kind of dependent on our financial. A lot of the things we want to do with our families, a lot of our social goals with our friends and all these other things, our vacations, these things can be dependent on our financial goals being achieved and our career goals. So today I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down into 8 different areas that you guys that I want you to be aware of and focus on. And there's some major ones, spiritual and family and business, because so much is related to business. And sometimes we'll compartmentalize that into career or financial. And so we're going to look at your financial goals, also your career goals, which are not necessarily completely tied to your financial goals. So this annual review, I'm going to break it down for you to give you a very structured way to approach it and exactly what you should be looking at. And I had, looking back on my annual review for this last year, I had a really spectacular year this year. We made a lot of money in our real estate investments. We did some very interesting things to help students in some new ways. We're now doing the Wolf's Deal Club, which I am absolutely thrilled about, and so many students are taking advantage of. And I just got off the phone with one of them this morning and talking about a counter offer that we got, that we're counter offering, and talking about putting raising the actual rent amount on a property that we got by $100 and putting it back out there. So it's exciting. We're talking about deals, and that's the thing. It's not theory. In the Wolf's Deal Club, it's about deals. I get excited about that, so I kind of go on a little bit sometimes, but I would love it if you were in the Wolf's Deal Club. It's my best ability to help you have big career success and big financial success over this next year. So this next year, you don't have to synchronize your annual review with me, but we're going to go over that today because it's my birthday. And so I will share my annual review. I'll share some of the things I go over and some of the things that I think that it's important to you. So let's look at that briefly since we're on Brunch with Brian. Let's do a little bit of that. So what would be your financial goals for this next year? Let's just say starting September 1st, since it's right by the end of, it's basically the end of summer here. So we're going into fall. So you have the 4 months left of this year. So it's not really a quarter. 3 months is a quarter of a year. So you've got a third of the year left. Okay, so what can you do in a third of the year and then next year financially? Do you think you can make $100,000 in cash and equity by the end of the year? That would be, I want you to set a minimum goal and an optimum goal. When you do your reviews, goals, plans, and scheduling are a huge part of it. And it's got to get down to the schedule, because if you make some goal and then you can't just say I want to make $100,000 by the end of the year and just leave it at that. You have to make a plan. So how many sellers do you have to talk to? How many deals do you have to do, number one? You probably have to do 4 deals. So that's 1 deal a month. And we're talking about cash and equity for you to accumulate $100,000. Now this isn't all spendable cash, but if you're doing our pre-funded deals, if you're coming to our pre-funded property workshop in a month, that's September 22nd and 23rd, you have the best chance possible of making that goal of closing 4 deals, because we're going to try to close one for you. We're going to do our darndest to close one for you right at that event, and we're going to get you prepped, and we're going to have you calling leads and getting ready, and bringing in quality leads so we can call and realistically send you home with a deal. Now, we don't have to send you home. You're already home. You could go out on the appointment the next day. So again, our main focus of the pre-funded property workshop is to get you a pre-funded deal, to get you a no money down deal that you can just basically go buy, when the next day and close on. And I'm going to write out a timeline during this pre-funded property workshop. I'm going to write out a timeline that actually takes you through the whole deal and what crucial steps are along the way in a creative financing pre-funded deal. So make sure you're at that event if there's any way you can get to that. And I don't know if we still have space in that. I talked about that now 2 days in a row without really realizing if we have space in there. So call the office, 888-RICH-NOW, or you can always text Dashel, text or call Dashel. He works in the office, so that's our son, of course. And his number, if you haven't written this down, you should have this in your phone. It's the office of the Wolf couple, and it's 480-789-3649. If somebody wants to put that in the chat, I'd appreciate it. So that's Dashel, D-A-S-H-E-L. You guys know how nice he is to work with. And that's his, you can call or text 480-789-3649. Speaking of the chat, always great to see you guys. Great to see you, Robin, Caleb, Lori, and Derek and Felicia. Great to see you guys. Lee, of course, is there. Joe Roach. Awesome to see you, Joe. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Maybe you're here, but you don't always comment. So awesome to see you here. Let's get everybody back coming on the Brunch with Brian. Let your friends know. This is quality stuff that we're covering. So when you're setting your optimum and minimum goal, you have to justify it. So if you say I want to make $100,000 and you say I have to do 4 deals, how many sellers are you going to have to talk to? How many agents are you going to have to talk to? And that's where we come into the KPIs, the key performance indicators. What's going to lead to you doing those 4 deals? Then we just got to make sure on a weekly basis you're hitting these KPIs. I think you should talk to 10 sellers a week, and you should talk to 5 agents, 5 realtors a week at least, as you're building your real estate agent network. So that's part of your operation, and that's part of what's going to lead to your financial goals. And we'll look at career goals too today on Teaching Tuesday. Remember, our Teaching Tuesday is every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, and then it's repeated. Don't forget it's repeated. I forget to tell you guys that 3 hours later. So you guys who are on the West Coast can't get it at 4. You can listen at 7. So again, that's our incredible Teaching Tuesdays conference calls. Today we're going to talk about your annual review of your life. And because it's my birthday today, and so I'm doing my annual review, and I'm going to share some of my things. So career and financial are 2 components in there that are important. Now, you have some separation between your regular job, if you have a regular 40-hour or 50-hour a week job, and your real estate investing. So you have separate goals for each of those, but you may have overall financial goals, but you have financial goals for each of those too as well. Now, in terms of, I don't want to call them soft goals, but more like spiritual and family and friends. I want you to have goals there. Social, we can call that, your friends. And but family is so important. I mean, family, I don't know, what do you leave behind? I was thinking about this the other day. As I'm getting older, and as that's my birthday, I start thinking about, my legacy, what I'm leaving behind. And who's going to remember me? Who's going to remember me when I'm gone? And because that's kind of how you live on, isn't it? You live on here on earth by having others remember you fondly. So maybe some of you guys are younger and you'll have fond memories of Lynette and I when we're gone. And I hope certainly my kids, of course, is who I kind of count on. So that's actually a whole separate area for me. In that family area is my kids. And so I have 3 kids. Some of you know that. Dashel, Kale, and Trinity. Some of you have had a lot of interaction with Dashel. He works in the office. Kale does also work for us too, but he's more the behind the scenes tech guy. And Trinity's a nurse up in Boise. So that's another goal. What are your family goals? And maybe you're real young. Maybe you're in your 20s and you want to start a family. So you may be in a very different spot. And me, I want to leave a great legacy for my kids, and it's figuring out, a lot of it is figuring out the legal stuff. And guys, that's where the 1031 exchanges and all that come in, where you can really roll forward all your profits and never pay taxes, and then when you're done, the kids all get your stuff at a one-time step up in basis. So it's sort of a way of beating Uncle Sam. You can make all this massive profit in cash flow, pre-funded properties, creative financing deals, and never pay taxes on your end profits because you just keep rolling them forward with 1031s. I have a special report on that I'm going to talk about at the boot camp. I'm going to really go into it more. I didn't have that much time to really delve into that at the Taking Action workshop last Friday, but at the pre-funded property workshop I have a little bit more time to go into that. So that's an incredible session. I've taught other gurus that technique. You never get credit for anything, but you know, that's, if you hear anybody talking about 1031 exchanges and some special techniques that we use to turn one property into three, that came from me. So I want to teach it to you, and so we have a special report on that. We can get into that a lot more. So wish me happy birthday. Happy birthday. I even put the balloons out here. I think we might even have a little cake left from Sunday. So hopefully you guys are there. Definitely on our Teaching Tuesday annual review today. Again, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And join us for that. We send a special email out with the passcode and the phone number and the code. So watch for that email. And you can catch it here on Facebook. I usually will drop it in here on the comments on this post right here. So guys, awesome spending time with you. Wow, I went way over today because it's my birthday, so forgive me. And I will hopefully be joining you later for Teaching Tuesdays. All right, so I do better and better every year. Let's say that one. Let's just say I do better every year. That'll be our affirmation for today. So remember, I say 1, 2, 3, and then we say it 3 times. Okay, I do better every year. 1, 2, 3. I do better every year. I do better every year. I do better every year. Awesome. And guys, now remember, one of those goals that I didn't talk about is physical. And that's one of those things you think, well, I'm not doing better every year physically. But it's amazing what you can do when you put your mind to it. Remember, I used to weigh 50 pounds more than I weigh now. I'm pretty much at my goal weight right now, and I've been able to maintain that since 2013 when I lost 50 pounds in 50 weeks. So that was a physical goal I had in 2013. Thank goodness I accomplished that goal and got it all done, you know, way back then, and then just kind of stayed the course after that. So I'm going to talk about physical goals as well. So, and I'll even go a little bit into my weight loss program, and it takes me 2 minutes to tell you the whole thing. It's not complicated. So guys, I will talk about all that great stuff today on Teaching Tuesdays and now we got to do our deep breathing, because we always do our deep breathing. That's another good physical activity and a good physical goal. One of my goals is to do deep breathing 3 times a week. 3 times a day. Okay, ready? Deep breath in. Hold it a little bit, and when you let it out, try to relax your shoulders and your neck. That's where we hold so much of our attention. Nice deep breath in. Hold it a little bit. Let it out. It's so good to feel so good. And a big smile, always a big smile. Deep breath in, hold it, and let it go. All right, so I will see you later today on Teaching Tuesdays. Until then, keep expecting success, getting awesome training, and of course, taking action.